Have you ever looked back and wished you had done things differently? As the years pass, the choices we make shape the quality of our lives. Some decisions build a foundation for happiness, strength, and independence, while others quietly chip away at well-being, leading to loneliness, financial struggles, and health problems that could have been prevented. The reality is that many of these mistakes start small: a skipped doctor's appointment, a decision to avoid new technology, or a habit of eating whatever is convenient. At first, they seem harmless, but over time, they accumulate, creating barriers to mobility, connection, and mental clarity. Today, we'll explore 5 of the biggest mistakes people make as they age, mistakes that often go unnoticed until it's too late. By the time you recognize these patterns, they may have already shaped your future. But the good news is that understanding them now gives you the power to make better choices, avoid unnecessary regrets, and take control of your later years. Before we begin, if you believe that aging should be about joy, purpose, and good health, subscribe to Graceful Elderly and share this message so that more people can learn how to avoid these common pitfalls. Now, let's dive into these 5 mistakes and how they can be prevented. 1. Neglecting physical health. One of the most damaging mistakes people make in old age is ignoring their physical health. It often starts subtly: skipping a morning walk, choosing convenience foods over fresh meals, or deciding that stretching isn't necessary anymore. Over time, these small habits build up, leading to loss of mobility, increased fatigue, and greater vulnerability to illness. Many people assume that declining strength and energy levels are simply part of getting older, but in reality, much of this decline isn't caused by aging itself. It's caused by inactivity, poor nutrition, and ignoring early signs of health problems. If you've ever felt stiff after sitting too long, struggled with balance, or noticed that everyday tasks feel more exhausting, those are signs that your body is asking for movement. The less you move, the harder it becomes to stay active. Before long, basic tasks like standing up from a chair, walking upstairs, or even reaching for something on a high shelf can become difficult. Weak muscles lead to poor balance, which increases the risk of falls. One of the biggest dangers for seniors. A single fall can result in months of recovery or, in some cases, a permanent change in quality of life. Take Henry, a 74-year-old who used to walk daily, but gradually stopped. A few months later, he noticed that standing for long periods felt tiring and that his knees ached more than usual. When he finally tried to get back into exercise, he realized he had lost a significant amount of strength. Even short walks left him winded. It took him months to rebuild what he had lost, and he often wished he had never let himself slow down in the first place. Another major mistake is assuming that eating less means nutrition isn't as important. As the body ages, it actually requires more of certain nutrients like protein to maintain muscle mass, calcium to support bone health, and fiber to aid digestion. Many seniors eat too few nutrients while relying on highly processed foods, which leads to fatigue, a weakened immune system, and chronic conditions like diabetes and high blood pressure. Ignoring regular health checkups is another common issue. Many people avoid the doctor unless something feels seriously wrong, but routine screenings can catch problems early when they're much easier to treat. Conditions like high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and early-stage osteoporosis often don't have obvious symptoms, so by the time you notice something is wrong, the damage may already be done. The good news is that it's never too late to make changes. Even small improvements, like adding 15 minutes of walking to your day or replacing processed snacks with fresh fruit and nuts, can make a significant difference. Strength training, even just using light weights or resistance bands, helps maintain muscle mass and prevent frailty. Prioritizing regular health checkups means problems can be detected early, before they turn into serious complications. Taking care of your body isn't about avoiding aging, it's about ensuring that you can keep doing the things you love for as long as possible. 2. Withdrawing from friends and family. One of the most heartbreaking mistakes people make in old age is pulling away from social connections. It often happens gradually, missing a few gatherings, making fewer phone calls, assuming others are too busy until, before they realize it, they've become isolated. Many seniors assume that loneliness is just a part of aging, but this couldn't be further from the truth. Research has shown that social isolation is as damaging to health as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. It increases the risk of heart disease, weakens the immune system, and even speeds up cognitive decline when the brain isn't regularly stimulated through conversations and shared experiences. It slows down, making memory loss and mental decline. More likely, consider Dorothy, a 76-year-old who gradually stopped reaching out to friends. She told herself that they were probably too busy with their own families. Weeks turned into months, and before she knew it, she was spending most of her days alone with only the television for company. She didn't feel like herself anymore. Her energy dropped, her mood darkened, and she found it harder to motivate herself to do the things she once enjoyed. But when she finally made the effort to reconnect, calling an old friend, joining a local book club, and inviting her grandchildren over more often, her entire outlook changed. She felt more engaged, happier, and even noticed improvements in her memory and energy levels. Another common mistake is relying only on family for social interaction. While family is important, expecting them to be the sole source of companionship can lead to disappointment and frustration. Having multiple sources of social interaction, whether through friends, neighbors, or community activities, ensures a more fulfilling life and prevents the feeling of being left behind when family members are busy. Technology has made staying in touch easier than ever, yet many seniors avoid it because they find it overwhelming. But embracing simple tools like video calls, social media, or voice messages can help maintain meaningful connections, especially when in-person visits aren't possible. Learning how to use these tools isn't about keeping up with trends, it's about making sure you're not left behind in an increasingly digital world. The good news is, it's never too late to reconnect. Joining a club, volunteering, attending local events, or simply making a habit of calling a friend once a week can make a world of difference. The goal isn't to have a busy social calendar, but rather to maintain meaningful connections that keep you mentally sharp, emotionally fulfilled, and engaged with the world around you. These two mistakes, neglecting physical health and withdrawing from social life, are some of the most damaging yet avoidable pitfalls of aging. In the next section, we'll explore 3 more common mistakes that quietly impact long-term well-being and how to prevent them before they become obstacles to a fulfilling life. Many changes in aging happen so gradually that they are easy to ignore until they start affecting daily life. The small decisions made in earlier years shape how strong, mobile, and mentally sharp a person remains in their later years. Some mistakes are so common that people don't even realize they are limiting their future independence. What starts as a minor adjustment, sitting instead of standing, avoiding new technology, or sticking only to old routines, can eventually lead to a life that feels smaller, lonelier, and harder to manage. One of the biggest mistakes people make as they age is sticking to old habits without adapting to new realities. The world continues to change, and refusing to learn new skills, embrace technology, or adjust to modern conveniences can make daily life much harder than it needs to be. Many seniors assume that technology is only for younger generations, but in reality, it has become one of the most powerful tools for maintaining independence, staying socially connected, and managing health more effectively. Take Robert, a 78-year-old who resisted learning how to use a smartphone. He relied on landline calls and mail, But over time, he realized that his children and grandchildren mostly communicated through texts, video calls, and emails. He often felt left out of family updates and had trouble managing things like banking and medical appointments, which had moved online. At first, he told himself, "I've lived this long without it, I don't need it now." But when he finally allowed his grandson to teach him how to use a smartphone, he was surprised by how much easier it made his life. He could quickly check his bank balance, refill prescriptions with a tap, and even video chat with his grandson, who lived across the country. What he once saw as complicated and unnecessary turned out to be a tool that gave him more control over his daily life, not less. Refusing to adapt to new technology often leads to isolation, financial difficulties, and unnecessary dependence on others. Learning even the basics of modern tools like using a smartphone, sending messages, or navigating simple apps helps seniors stay engaged with their families, their communities, and the world around them. Another common mistake is ignoring small physical limitations until they become serious problems. Many seniors dismiss minor aches, balance issues, or shortness of breath as just part of aging. But these small signs are often early warnings of bigger problems that can impact mobility and long-term health. Take Helen, a 72-year-old who started noticing occasional dizziness when standing up too quickly. At first, she brushed it off, thinking it was just a part of getting older. But one day, she lost her balance and fell in the kitchen, resulting in a fractured wrist. After her fall, she struggled with basic tasks like cooking and dressing, making her realize just how much she had taken her independence for granted. What she didn't know was that simple balance exercises and strength training could have helped prevent the fall. Many seniors underestimate the importance of balance and core strength, assuming that if they can walk, they don't need extra training. But balance begins to decline in the 50s and 60s, and without targeted exercises, the risk of falling increases significantly. Small steps, like practicing standing on one leg, walking heel to toe, or doing light strength exercises, help maintain stability, coordination, and confidence in movement. Something as simple as rising from a chair without using the arms for support can serve as an excellent test of leg strength and independence. Another mistake that slowly diminishes quality of life is sticking to a rigid daily routine without variety or mental challenges. While routine can be comforting, doing the same things every day without engaging in new experiences can accelerate cognitive decline. The brain needs variety and stimulation to stay sharp and adaptable. Many seniors unknowingly limit their brain activity by avoiding new experiences, sticking only to familiar conversations, or relying on passive activities like television. While watching TV or reading can be enjoyable, they don't engage the brain in the same way as learning new skills, solving puzzles, or having deep conversations. Take George, a retired teacher who loved reading, but rarely tried anything new. Over time, he noticed his memory slipping and his ability to focus declining. His doctor recommended that he try learning a new language or playing a musical instrument, activities proven to stimulate brain plasticity. At first, he doubted that learning something new at his age would make a difference, but after a few months of practicing basic Spanish phrases, he noticed his memory improving and his overall mental clarity sharpening. The brain functions like a muscle. It needs exercise to stay strong. Learning new skills, engaging in strategy-based games, participating in discussions, or even trying creative hobbies like painting or playing an instrument keeps neural connections active and slows cognitive decline. Socializing is one of the most effective ways to protect brain function, but many seniors gradually reduce social interaction without realizing the impact. Social withdrawal often starts with small decisions: skipping a family gathering, avoiding a phone call, or assuming friends are too busy. But over time, it can lead to chronic loneliness, which increases the risk of depression and dementia even. Simple habits like having a weekly coffee date, joining a local group, or engaging in friendly conversations with neighbors provide mental stimulation and emotional support. Talking to others forces the brain to process information, recall memories, and engage in problem solving, all of which help maintain cognitive function. The most dangerous part of these mistakes is that they don't seem like mistakes at first. A little extra sitting instead of standing, choosing familiar routines over new experiences, or skipping a social event here and there doesn't feel significant in the moment. But over time, these habits create a pattern that leads to decreased mobility, cognitive decline, and increased reliance on others. Recognizing these patterns before they become ingrained allows seniors to make small, meaningful adjustments that keep them strong, engaged, and independent. Avoiding these mistakes isn't about trying to prevent aging, it's about ensuring that aging doesn't take away the things that make life enjoyable. Aging isn't just about avoiding problems, it's about actively creating a lifestyle that keeps the body strong, the mind sharp, and the spirit fulfilled. Many people assume that aging means slowing down, doing less, and accepting decline. But the truth is, small daily habits make the biggest difference in how we experience our later years. A fulfilling daily routine isn't about rigid schedules or unrealistic expectations. It's about finding simple, enjoyable ways to support long-term health and happiness. The key is to focus on physical movement, cognitive engagement, and emotional connection, the three pillars of a strong and independent life. One of the most important habits to maintain strength is morning movement. How the body wakes up and starts the day determines how much energy and mobility a person will have throughout the day. Many older adults wake up stiff and sore, assuming that it's just a part of aging. But in reality, much of that stiffness comes from lack of circulation and inactivity during sleep. A simple morning stretching routine can immediately improve blood flow, joint flexibility, and overall mobility. Movements like gentle neck rolls, shoulder circles, hip stretches, and ankle rotations help loosen up tight muscles and prepare the body for movement. Some people find that adding a short walk outside in the morning sunlight helps regulate circadian rhythms, improves mood, and increases energy levels. Beyond movement, the first meal of the day is crucial. Many seniors unknowingly start their day with foods that cause blood sugar spikes and energy crashes, like white toast, sugary cereals, or processed pastries. These foods may feel comforting, but they lead to fatigue, brain fog, and cravings. Throughout the day, a more balanced breakfast includes protein, fiber, and healthy fats. Some excellent choices include scrambled eggs with spinach and whole grain toast, Greek yogurt with berries and nuts, oatmeal with flax seeds and banana, a smoothie with protein powder, avocado, and almond milk. These foods provide steady energy, support muscle maintenance, and prevent mid-morning hunger. Staying hydrated in the morning is just as important. Many older adults don't feel as thirsty as they used to, leading to unintentional dehydration, which causes fatigue, dizziness, and muscle cramps. A habit as simple as drinking a full glass of water first thing in the morning helps flush out toxins and support digestion. After setting up the body for success in the morning, the rest of the day should include intentional movement. Many seniors assume that if they take a daily walk, they are doing enough exercise. While walking is an excellent habit, it doesn't maintain muscle mass or prevent strength loss. Without some form of resistance training, the body loses lean muscle, making movements harder and balance less stable over time. Strength training doesn't have to mean lifting heavy weights at the gym. Simple bodyweight exercises like chair squats, wall push-ups, and standing calf raises help maintain muscle strength and coordination. Using light resistance bands or small dumbbells can improve arm and leg strength without putting stress on the joints. The key is to make strength and mobility exercises part of daily life. Some people prefer to combine movement with daily tasks, like doing heel raises while brushing teeth, squats while waiting for coffee to brew, or shoulder exercises while watching TV. Others find that setting aside 10–15 minutes for structured exercises helps keep them consistent and accountable. Beyond physical health, cognitive engagement is just as important. Many seniors stop challenging their brains, leading to faster memory decline and reduced problem-solving skills. The brain needs variety, challenge, and stimulation to stay sharp. One of the best ways to keep the brain engaged is learning new things. This could be as simple as reading a book on a new topic, trying a new hobby, or engaging in brain games like crossword puzzles and Sudoku. Some of the most effective activities for cognitive stimulation include learning a few words in a new language, playing a musical instrument, memorizing short poems or passages, writing in a journal, engaging in deep conversations about new topics. Social interactions are one of the most effective ways to maintain brain health. Talking to others requires memory recall, active listening, and emotional connection, all of which stimulate different areas of the brain. For those who live alone, daily phone calls, joining local groups, or attending community events can provide necessary social engagement. Some seniors find that video calls with family and friends help them feel more connected, especially when in-person visits are not possible. Many people focus on what they eat for physical health, but food also plays a crucial role in mental well-being. A diet rich in antioxidants, healthy fats, and brain-boosting nutrients helps reduce inflammation and supports cognitive function. Some of the best foods for brain health include fatty fish like salmon, which provides omega-3, fatty acids for brain function, leafy greens like spinach and kale, which contain vitamins that slow cognitive decline, berries, which are packed with antioxidants that protect brain cells, nuts and seeds, which improve memory and brain connectivity, dark chocolate, which contains flavonoids that enhance brain plasticity. Sleep plays a major role in both physical and mental health, but many older adults struggle with falling asleep or staying asleep. Poor sleep leads to reduced concentration, weakened immunity, and higher stress levels. One of the best ways to improve sleep is establishing a bedtime routine that signals the body to wind down. This includes reducing screen time at least an hour before bed, keeping a consistent sleep schedule, even on weekends, practicing relaxation techniques like deep breathing or listening to calming music, drinking herbal teas like chamomile or peppermint, keeping the bedroom cool. Dark and quit avoiding heavy meals, caffeine, and excessive fluids before bedtime can also prevent disruptions in sleep. The emotional aspect of aging is just as important as the physical and mental aspects. Many seniors find that gratitude, reflection, and purpose contribute greatly to overall happiness. Taking time each day to reflect on positive moments, write in a journal, or engage in acts of kindness fosters a sense of fulfillment. Maintaining a sense of purpose is one of the most important factors in aging well. Many people feel lost after retirement or major life changes, but purpose doesn't have to be tied to a career. It can be found in mentoring younger generations, volunteering, taking care of a pet, or exploring creative outlets like painting, gardening, or writing. Aging isn't about losing abilities, it's about adapting to new strengths. By staying physically active, mentally engaged, socially connected, and emotionally fulfilled, seniors can create a daily routine that supports longevity, confidence, and independence. The key to a fulfilling later life is not waiting for problems to arise before making changes. The small, intentional actions taken every day shape how strong, mobile, and happy life will be in the years to come. Making changes is one thing, sticking to them is another. Many people start with good intentions, whether it's moving more, eating better, or staying socially engaged. But after a few weeks or months, they slip back into old habits. The biggest mistake isn't making the wrong choices, it's giving up on the right ones too soon. Aging well isn't about making drastic changes overnight. It's about small, sustainable adjustments that become part of everyday life. One of the most common challenges seniors face is finding the motivation to stay active and engaged. When daily life slows down, it's easy to fall into a routine of inactivity, where hours pass sitting in the same chair, watching television, or scrolling through the same news headlines. The less movement, social interaction, and mental engagement someone has, the harder it becomes to restart healthy habits. The key to maintaining physical activity, cognitive engagement, and emotional fulfillment is creating systems of consistency, making habits so easy and enjoyable that they feel like a natural part of life, not a chore. A great way to stay motivated with exercise is to tie it to something enjoyable. Instead of forcing an uninspiring workout, pairing movement with social interaction, music, or an outdoor setting can make it more enjoyable. Walking with a friend, listening to a favorite podcast while stretching, or doing light resistance training while watching TV turns movement into a pleasurable routine. For those who struggle with stiffness or fatigue, movement doesn't have to be strenuous to be effective. Some people find that starting the day with a few gentle stretches or chair exercises helps prevent morning stiffness. Others set reminders to stand up and walk every hour, breaking up long periods of sitting. Setting small, achievable goals can make a difference. Instead of aiming for an hour of exercise every day, setting a goal like 10 minutes of movement every morning makes it easier to stick to the routine. Once a habit is built, momentum naturally keeps it going. For cognitive engagement, the trick is to stay curious. The brain thrives on variety and new challenges. But learning doesn't have to mean sitting in a classroom trying a new recipe. Reading a different genre of book, or learning a few words in another language are all ways to keep the brain active. Socializing is another major challenge for many seniors. Even those who once had active social lives may find that their circle shrinks with age. Friends move away, family gets busier, and opportunities for regular interaction become less frequent. But avoiding isolation isn't about attending large gatherings, it's about maintaining meaningful connections, scheduling weekly calls or visits with family or friends, joining a group or class, or even starting conversations with neighbors or store clerks can keep social skills sharp. Technology can help bridge gaps when in-person meetings aren't possible. While many seniors feel hesitant about using video calls or social media, learning these tools makes it easier to stay connected and engaged. One of the best ways to stay consistent with habits is to attach them to something that already happens every day. For example, doing a few simple stretches before breakfast, drinking a glass of water before every meal, calling a friend or family member every Sunday, reading one article, or learning one new fact every morning. Brain and body love routine. Once a new habit becomes part of the day, it requires less effort to maintain. A major part of staying motivated is also celebrating small wins. Many people focus only on big results, losing a certain amount of weight, walking a certain number of miles, or achieving a major milestone. But the real success comes in every small action taken toward a healthier, more engaged life. Noticing small improvements, more energy in the morning, easier movement, better sleep, or feeling mentally sharper builds motivation to keep going. Some people keep a journal or checklist to track progress, which serves as a reminder of how far they've come. Aging while also requires flexibility. Some days, energy levels may be lower. Some routines may need to adjust due to unexpected life events. The key is to avoid an all-or-nothing mindset. Missing one day of exercise, one healthy meal, or one social event doesn't mean failure. The goal is consistency over time, not perfection. One of the most powerful motivators is purpose. People who feel like they have a reason to get up in the morning, a goal to work toward, or something meaningful to contribute are more likely to stay physically active, socially connected, and mentally engaged. For some, purpose comes from volunteering, mentoring, or helping younger generations. For others, it comes from creating, whether it's painting, writing, gardening, or building something with their hands. Even something as simple as caring. For a pet, planning a family gathering, or learning a new skill can bring a sense of fulfillment and drive. One of the biggest regrets many seniors express is waiting too long to make changes. They look back and wish they had started exercising sooner, taken better care of their health, or spent more time with loved ones. But the reality is, it's never too late to improve health, happiness, and well-being. Aging isn't about decline, it's about adaptation. The body and mind are designed to adjust and respond to care and attention. Whether it's starting small with a few minutes of movement, reaching out to an old friend, or learning something new, every positive action makes a difference. At every stage of life, choices shape the future. The habits formed today determine how strong, engaged, and independent life will be in the years ahead. By making deliberate, consistent choices to move more, connect more, and challenge the mind, aging becomes not just something to endure, but something to embrace with the right mindset and daily habits. Growing older isn't about losing abilities, it's about gaining new perspectives, deeper connections, and a renewed appreciation for life itself.